Hi there, welcome. I'm Jenny with Slate Pilates. It's been a little while since I posted a new video and I am super excited to get back to moving with you today. So today we're going to do a workout on the reformer. We are going to use a ball, so if you have a ball, have that handy. We're not going to start with it, so just place it down to the side. And then I'm going to set up my springs today, 2 heavies and 1 medium. So for me, that's 2 red springs and 1 blue. Once you have those on, let's go ahead and lie down. Bring your feet up onto the foot bar. We'll bring the balls of the feet to rest on the foot bar. Bring the heels together, finding that Pilates V. Lengthen your arms by your side, and I just want you to take a moment to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, finding that neutral spine as you continue to breathe. The sacrum is heavy, the shoulder blades are heavy. We're allowing that chest to be nice and open to the ceiling, and our skull is heavy. Inhaling, exhaling. I want you to notice as you're breathing here, where is your body taking in that oxygen? Do you feel your ribs opening up toward the ceiling? If you do, I want to challenge you to shift that focus to your back body. Can you breathe into that back body, and can you feel the ribs on your back touch down into the carriage and then lift back off as you exhale through your mouth? If you're having a hard time finding it, sometimes just taking your hands and just touching that area will help to turn on your body. Let's do one more breath in and out. Now gently press those heels together. Inhale as you press the carriage out. Exhale as you find that resistance against the springs, pulling the carriage in toward the stoppers. Move with your breath here. This can look different for everybody in a room. So I might move a little bit faster than you. You might move a little bit faster than me. Whatever feels good in your body and with your breath. As you're moving, I want you to think about really wrapping the entire ball of your foot around that foot bar. So my big toe is pressing into the top of the foot bar. All of my toes are splaying out, and then my pinkies are touching down a little bit lower on that foot bar. 2 more. On this next one, press out and hold. I'm going to have you squeeze into your glutes, squeeze into your core. Let your sacrum come off the mat about 1 inch or 2. Now we're going to close the carriage, lifting the hips up higher, coming into a bridge. From here, keep the hips lifted. Inhale to press out, exhale in. You can look down at your hips, make sure they're staying nice and even. 2 more. Last one, we'll pull the carriage in, keep those hips lifted high, press those heels together, and now I want to go into a clam. So we're going to pull those knees toward the midline and then slowly resist them back open. Pull the knees together and then open. Now for my body, there's no way in heck my knees are going to actually touch here. So I am just pulling those legs to the midline, squeezing into my inner thighs, squeezing into my glutes, and then slowly releasing back out. And I can find so much resistance as I release back out that my outer thighs are really burning here too. Let's do 2 more. In and open. Last one. Squeeze in and open, and then go ahead and melt your spine down 1 vertebrae at a time until your sacrum's heavy. We'll split those heels apart, coming to a neutral foot, and then come up onto your arches on the foot bar. Lengthen those arms by your side. Inhale as you press out. Exhale in. Wrapping the foot around the foot bar, thinking of that bird on a perch. Take a moment to body sense into your foot. Is your foot slightly rolled out toward the pinky side? Is it slightly rolled in towards your big toe? Try to find a middle ground. Keep the pressure even on the outside and the inside of your foot. 2 more. The last one, we'll press out and hold. Squeeze into the glutes and the abdominals, hover that sacrum, and then pull the carriage in, coming up to that high bridge. We'll inhale to press out and exhale in. Now this time you're going to feel those inner thighs right away because they're helping us to keep those legs moving along the midline, keeping my knees from falling out or falling in. And again, focus on where the weight is resting on your foot. Try to even it out. 2 more. Last one here. We'll pull in and hold. Now we're going to keep that rounding of the foot. I'm pointing my toe, curling my toes down, and we're just going to do little marches. And when I say little, I really want you to think about alignment here. I want you to bring that foot up so that we find that 90-degree angle, and then we drop. 90 and drop, 90 and drop. Again, looking at my hips, I'm making sure that my left and my right aren't dropping as I lift each leg, keeping them nice and even. Last one here. And then go ahead and round that spine down. Beautiful. Move up to your heels. Find an actively flexed foot. Inhale as you press the carriage out. Exhale to resist in. Imagining as if there's a wall extending up out of my foot bar. I want to make sure that I'm just standing gently on that imaginary wall. I'm not pulling my toes back so much that I'm going to feel cramping into my shins. Two more. On this last one, press out and hold. Hover that sacrum, pull the carriage in, coming up into your high bridge. Inhale out and exhale in. I'm going to feel the hammies working here a little bit more. I'm going to feel those inner thighs, helping to keep those legs moving on the midline. 2 more. Last one, pull the carriage in, keep the hips high. Now we're going to extend that right leg straight up. Again, thinking about alignment, my foot is flexed. I'm going to flex as I lower it down, point, and lift back up. Flex it down, point and lift. Flex it down, point and lift. I'm looking down at my hips. They're staying nice and even. 2 more. Last one here. Lift. We're going to flex that foot, bend the knee, place that heel back down. Carefully lift your left leg straight up, keeping the foot flexed. We'll lower, point the toes and lift. Lower, point the toes and lift. Being sure to only lift to that 90 degrees. Hips are staying nice and even. 2 more. Last one. Lift, flex that foot, bend the knee, place the heel back down the foot bar, press those hips up, squeeze into those glutes, and then melt that spine down. We'll open up the feet wide on the foot bar, coming back down to the ball of the foot, slight turn out and find a high heel. From here, inhale to press out, exhale in. Taking a moment to close your eyes and body sense into your legs, making sure that your dominant side isn't taking over here. Really evening out that workload. As I press away from the foot bar, I'm squeezing my inner thighs together, scissoring them in, and then slowly releasing that carriage back. 2 more. This last one, press out, stay. Hover that sacrum, begin to come in, coming into your high bridge, hold here, inhale to press out, exhale in. Now this one is going to require a little bit more work to get that carriage to close before pressing out again. So pull those heels toward the sits bones, feel those hamstrings turning on. Keep those hips nice and level. 2 more. On this last one, pull in, close the carriage. Now from here, you're going to drop your right heel and lift it. Drop left and lift. Right, lift, left, lift. One more right and left, and melt that spine down. Pull your knees into your chest for just a moment. Rock side to side, massaging into that lower back. Now we'll bring the balls of the feet back to the center of the foot bar, about a fist width distance between them, and then go ahead and press the carriage out long. We're going to go into heel lower lifts, and I want to start with a slow lower. So lower, 2, 3, explode up. Lower, 2, 3, and up. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice and slow and controlled here. Feeling that articulation through the ankle, through the foot as you roll down and press those heels under the foot bar. And then fire on up. 2 more like this. And now we're going to reverse it. So we're going to drop those heels, and then we're going to slowly, 2, 3, come up to that high heel. Drop, lift, 2, 3, drop, lift, 2, 3, drop. You should be starting to feel that burn on the bottom of the feet, into the calves. Breathe through it. Three more. 2 more. Last one. Drop the heels under. Go ahead and go into running. Dropping one heel, lifting the other. Oh, I love when that burn kind of starts to fade away. It feels so good. 3, 2, 1. Let those heels fall under the foot bar. Really reach them toward the wall in front of you, and then slowly bend the knees in. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and carefully sit ourselves on up. We'll drop one heavy spring. So for me, I'm taking one red spring off. That'll leave me with one heavy and one medium. And then I'm going to lie back down. We're going to go into some supine arms here. So reach back behind you, grab onto your short straps. Today we're going to set up just a little bit different. Normally we bring our legs to a nice tabletop and hold there. Today I want to keep the sacrum heavy, but I want you to pull your knees in a little bit closer toward your body. So my abdominals are squeezing in toward the midline. I'm still going to hold myself nice and still. I'm just squeezing and hugging in a little bit tighter. Hands in the short straps will press forward so that wrists are over the shoulders. And when you're ready, inhale to press the arms down toward the carriage. Exhale to lift them up. Really finding that resistance against the spring as your fingertips float back up to the ceiling. My knees are pressing together. My feet and my ankles are pressing together so I can feel that inner thigh connection as I'm moving. Last one. When your arms float up, pause. Extend your legs out long. Now as I press my arms down, knees pull in. As my arms float up, legs press out. I'm keeping a nice neutral spine here. If you feel any arching, you just take your feet up slightly higher toward the ceiling. That's the beauty of doing this long leg work, is that you can kind of find your sweet spot. 2 more. Last one. Pull the knees back in, arms float down toward the carriage. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend those legs out long. Now we're in our 100 position. Begin pumping the arms. Inhaling for a count of 5. Exhaling for a count of 5. Lower back is now imprinted. Really reaching into my straps. I'm gonna curl up a little bit higher if I can, looking in toward my inner thighs. One more breath cycle. Knees pull into the chest. Allow the arms to float up to the ceiling as you lower your head. Make sure that you're set up. Again, pull those knees in, sacrum's heavy. Let the arms fall out to the side, palms are facing forward. Now we'll pull the palms in toward the hips, going into our T-straps, and then release back out. Inhaling and exhaling. Using that exhale as the arms come back out to T to really put those brakes on. Slow the carriage closing. Last one like this. We'll float our arms out to T, extend the legs out long. As the arms pull in, the knees pull in. As the arms open up, the legs press out. Again, keeping a neutral spine, so find that sweet spot where you can extend your legs out, abs are pulling in and up, and that back stays nice and neutral. One more after this guy here. Last one. Open the arms out. Go ahead and pull the knees in. We're going to pull the arms in, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. We're going to extend the legs out again, coming back to our 100 position. Flip so the palms are down. This time you're going to inhale as you slowly lift the arms toward the knees. Big exhale as you slowly lower back down toward the carriage. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Belly button is pulling toward the spine. My lower back is imprinted. I'm reaching my legs forward, finding that length. Last one. Pull the knees in, lower the head back, let those arms float up, and then let them fall out to the side for a moment. Place your feet down on the foot bar and just windshield wiper the knees left and right. Might get a little pop like I just did. Oh. Come back to our setup. Knees pull in toward the chest, sacrum's heavy. Arms are going to float up and then press down toward the carriage. I'm going to let my elbows float about 1 inch or so off the carriage. And then I'm just going to bend at the elbows, fingertips float to the ceiling, and press those arms out long. Inhaling and exhaling. If you need a little bit more stability, you can always put that upper arm down flush on the carriage. Now let's add on legs. As I press my arms out, left leg goes out. Now as my fingertips float to the ceiling, left leg lifts to the ceiling, press down, it floats down, and now I'm going to pull it back in. So now right leg extends, floats up to the ceiling, presses out long, pulls back in. Left out, lifts up, lowers down, pulls in, and now right out, up, down, and in. Let's do one more each side. Out, up, down, and in. Last one. Up, down, and in. Go ahead and let those arms fall out one more time. Give a couple more moves here and then we'll move on. We're going to go into a little bit of coordination. Not the actual move yet. We are going to do that. But we're going to coordinate our arms a little bit here. So this time, let's bring our legs up to that tabletop position. Squeezing the knees together, squeezing the ankles together. I'm going to press my arms forward slightly. Palms are facing forward. And now I'm going to drop my right arm out to that T position. So left arm is up, right arm is out. From here, I'm going to pull both palms in towards my body, and now I'm going to switch. Right arm floats up, left arm floats out. Press in, switch, left up, right out. And in, switch, right up, left out. Keep moving here, slow and controlled with your breath. Let's do one more right, one more left. Last one. Bring both arms in toward the body, palms are facing down toward the carriage, arms are floating. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, and we're going to pull those knees in closer to the body. Bend at the elbows, fingertips float up, going into coordination. We'll inhale as we press the arms and the legs long. Hold your breath, open, close the feet. Exhale as you pull the knees in, pull the fingertips up to the ceiling. Press out, open, close, pull the knees in, fingertips float up. 2 more, press out, open, close, knees in, arms bend. Last one, out, open, close, knees in, bend at the elbows, go ahead and lower the head back. You can come on in, hang up the straps, and then just stretch for a moment, whatever feels good. I'm grabbing onto the hooks behind me so I can open up across the chest a little bit more. And I'm just gonna windshield side to side because it feels so good. When you're ready, carefully sit yourself on up. And I want to take us into some leg work now. So I want to do scooters in my most favorite way. So we're going to do a scooter pyramid. We're going to keep the springs where they are right now, the 1 blue and 1 yellow, and we're going to set up for our first round of scooters. So I'm going to have my left foot come up against the shoulder rest, and then for scooters, it's a little bit different than lunges. We want to scoot that right foot back so that we can bend into the right leg, and our left and our right knee are right in line with each other. Palms are going to come to the foot bar, and I'm going to think of that long line from the crown of my head out my tailbone. From here, I'm going to inhale as I push back, exhale in. We're going to do 10 here. Go ahead and close the carriage. You'll take your blue off, put a yellow on, so 1 red, 1 yellow, and now we're going to do 12. Close the carriage. You can lower that knee, take the yellow off, so now we have 1 red, and now we're going to do 14. Close the carriage. Let that left knee come heavy. You can step that right foot forward and then just lunge back. Keeping the knee heavy, we'll open up into the hip flexor. We'll get a deep stretch into that right hamstring. You can press in and out a little bit. If it feels good, you can straighten into your right leg. You can stand up and press out again, whatever feels good in your body here. And then we'll come on in. I'm going to reach down and place my blue back on, and I'm going to walk around to the other side and set up the same way. So this time, I might have trouble slipping here. This time, I'm going to bring my right foot up into the shoulder rest. I'm going to walk my left foot back so that as I bend into that left foot, my knees are aligned. Palms of the hands are going to come to that foot bar. Think of that nice long line, and when you're ready, we'll do 10 here to start. Take off the blue, add a yellow, and we'll do 12. Close the carriage in, drop that yellow spring, and we have 14 here to finish up. 13, 14, close the carriage. Let that knee be heavy, step the left foot forward, press back, and just enjoy a stretch. Whatever you did on the other side, or whatever feels good on this side, each side is totally different. This is my flexible side, so it feels a lot nicer to open up into that split. On the other side, it's just kind of painful. Oh, nice. And then we'll come on in. I'm gonna reach down. I'm gonna put on one blue or one medium and take off the red. And then I'm gonna come to kneeling sideways on my carriage. So a couple different options for how you set up here. You can either have your feet just off this back side of the reformer, and you can kind of flex at the foot holding on there. I like personally to be forward a little bit, and then I kind of set up like a tripod. My big toes are pressing together behind me, and I have nice wide knees here. So I'm gonna reach down and grab onto the short strap that's closest to me. For setup, I'm gonna be squeezing into my glutes. My legs are super active, and I'm gonna be pulling my core in toward the midline. We're gonna start with a Barbie arm here, for lack of a better term here. We've got that 90-degree angle. We've got the strap in between our hand. Other arm can just lengthen down by your side, sit up nice and tall, shoulders roll down the back, and we're just gonna take that Barbie arm across the body and then open it back out. Just barely grazing my belly and then opening out. Make sure that your shoulders don't hike up towards your ears as you're moving here. If you find that a blue feels a little bit heavy, you can always go to a highlight spring. One more here. Now we're going to add on to this Barbie. I'm still going to take it across my body, but I'm going to twist and press. Now you won't be able to fully press that arm out straight because of the angle, but I want you to work toward it. 4, 2 more, 5, starting to feel it burn in my shoulders, 6, nice. Now we're going to draw that upper arm in close to the body, fingertips point straight out, and we're just going to close the forearm across the belly, open it out. I'm really squeezing my upper arm in toward my body. I'm making sure that when I lengthen this arm back out in front of me, I'm only letting it go straight out in front. I'm not letting it go out any farther to the side because that could really cause some unnecessary strain. So it's not a huge movement. Last one here. Open out, nice. Now we're going to take that short strap up over our elbow. Hands are going to come behind the head, one hand over the other, pinkies at the base of the skull. From here, I'm going to inhale as I drop my left elbow down toward the springs. Exhale to slowly come up. Inhale over, exhale up. So I want to make sure my hips are staying nice and still and that this side flexion, this lateral flexion is coming from my core. I'm using my obliques to round over, and then I'm resisting to come back up. I'm gently pressing my head back against my hands to make sure that I'm not pushing my chin forward. Let's do one more, and then we'll take this move around the world. So dip that left elbow down. Now I'm going to turn so that I'm facing the floor. I'm going to come around toward the back of the reformer, pause here, lift the left elbow back up, opening forward, and then come up tall. Inhale over, rotate so I'm facing down, move around to the right side, lift that left elbow, and then come up. Let's do 2 more. Nice and slow and controlled here. Last one. And again, I'm checking in to make sure my hips are staying nice and stable. And I may hinge forward slightly as I move. Beautiful. Go ahead and take that off. And now let's grab a hold of that short strap with our left hand. Right arm can lengthen down by the side. And we're just going to go into a bow and arrow. Pulling across, pressing out toward the foot bar, coming back in. Allowing my gaze to follow my fist as I move here. Two more. Last one here. Nice. We're going to go ahead and hang that up. Now I want to do a little bit of work facing the back of the reformer before we switch over to the other side. So I'm going to turn around to my springs and I'm going to put on one heavy, so one red, and I'm going to take that blue off. So here, I'm going to sit down, extending my legs between the shoulder rests. I want my calves to be about in the headrest here. So let's start by crossing our right foot over our left leg. So we're coming into that position where in yoga we'd be holding on and twisting. So I want you to do that exact thing. You're going to take your left hand just outside your right knee and you're going to gently twist. From here, take your right hand and grab the left short strap. So we have this diagonal. Sitting up nice and tall, left hand pulling that knee towards your body. We're just going to inhale as we pull the strap, twisting toward the right and back. Now again, I am focusing on twisting through my core, using the obliques to find that movement. Slow and controlled. Working my arm here as well. Two more. Last one. Lengthen that arm out straight. Now we're going to uncross that leg, and I want the right leg to come to rest just on top of your left, crossed over. Sit up nice and tall. I'm going to pull that strap back, twisting slightly to the right again. Now, and you can lower this left hand down if it feels good. Now as I release the right hand, I'm going to hinge myself back slightly and lift my right leg. And then I'll come up, twisting and pulling, hinge back and lift. So kind of think of a teaser here. Almost like a variation or a prep for teaser. Reaching the right arm forward, reaching the right leg up, and then back up. Two more. Last one. Beautiful. Go ahead and hang up that strap. We'll uncross the legs. Now we're going to cross that left foot over the right leg. Right hand will come just outside that left knee, and I'm going to reach forward and grab onto the short strap with my left hand. Sitting up nice and tall, I'll inhale to twist and pull, exhale to release. Try to find that feeling of wringing out in your abs. So you're wringing out a rag, you're twisting, your obliques are finding the work here. Two more here. Last one. Release that arm forward. We'll release that left leg to rest on top of the right, crossed over. I'm going to pull that strap in, twisting toward you. Now, I'm going to bring my right hand down. Now, as I release the left arm forward, I lift the left leg. And in and up tall, and hinge back and lift. Two more. Last one. And then come on up. Let's uncross the legs. You can hang up that strap and we'll just dive the head forward for a moment, reaching toward the feet. You can round back away from where your hands and your feet are connected. Getting a nice stretch and opening across the back body. Now just round forward and rest and just let your head be heavy. You can shake it no. And we'll round ourselves up to sit tall. One more thing before we move to the other side to do our arms. I want you to come up to kneeling. We're going to bring those knees firmly against the shoulder rest. So I'm going to keep my feet flat. I'm pressing the big toe, top of my big toe, into the carriage. And from here, we're going to reach down, grab onto the straps just above your knot or above your silver clip.
And then I want you to kind of find an uncomfortable position here, and that is, I want you to think of stacking your body over your kneecaps. So as I do that, I'm forced to squeeze into my glutes and to pull my abdominals in and up, and I almost feel as if I'm gonna fall forward, but I wanna find that place. I'm gonna lengthen my arms out in front of me, and now I'm gonna inhale as I just pull them right back to my hips, and then forward. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling as if I'm about to fall forward, but really having to turn on my entire body to keep that from happening. And if you notice, we're doing a little bit smaller movement with our arms. We're really working into the smaller muscle groups, moving with control and precision. The next time you pull your arms back, pause, look right, look center, look left, look center. Release the arms and go back to pulling. You should really be feeling your triceps now. On this next one, pull back and hold. Squeeze the upper arms into the sides of the body. Look left, look center, look right, look center, and release. Now keep this form for just another moment. I'm gonna have you pull those arms back to your hips, hug those arms in tight to your body. Inhale as you begin to hinge yourself back. Exhale to come forward. Now notice, I'm going to keep my arms in. I'm going to continue hinging back and forth. I'm not moving that much here. I'm hinging back till I start to feel as if I'm going to arch, and then I come up. 2 more. Shoulders roll down the back. Last one. Beautiful. Release your arms. You can sit back for just a moment. That was really great, guys. Let's put on one blue, take off our red, and now I'm going to turn away from you so we can do the other side of arms. So however you were set up before, I like to be in the middle, big toes pressing together, squeezing into the glutes and the legs for my stability. And we're going to grab onto that short strap that's next to us. Left hand is going to come in, and I'm going to find my Barbie arm. So from here, inhale to take the arm across the body. Exhale to open it back out to the side. Remember, I'm just grazing my belly, keeping it really close. Thinking of a really long spine from tailbone to crown. My body is nice and stable. Now we're going to add that reach. So Barbie arm across the body, press toward the foot bar and back. A little bit of a twist here. Two more. Last one here. Beautiful. Bring that top arm in close to your body. Fingertips point straight forward. And I'm going to touch my forearm to my belly. Open that hand back out. Across and open, ensuring that I stop where my fingertips are pointing straight out in front of me. Squeezing that upper arm into my body. Don't get lazy here. One more. Now we're a little bit fatigued from all the other work we did. Beautiful. Now we're going to slide that short strap up over the elbow. Hands come behind the head, one hand over the other, pinkies at the base of the skull, sitting up nice and tall. We'll start by just tipping that right arm down toward the springs and then coming back up. Inhaling and exhaling, slow and controlled. Really turning on the obliques to create this little dive to the right and then come up slowly. Imagine here as if you're moving between 2 panes of glass, so you're not hinging forward or back. Now on this next one, let's add that around the world. So we drop the right elbow, come down to face the floor, rotate around to the left, lift the right elbow up to the ceiling, exhale to come up tall. And again here, I'm gently pressing my head back into my hands.
After this one, we have one more. Last one here. Go ahead and take the short strap into your right hand now, and we'll go into our bow and arrow. We'll pull across, punching out over that foot bar and drawing back across the body. Allowing my gaze to follow my right fist as it moves. Two more. Last one. Beautiful. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. We'll hang up that strap. I'm going to turn to face you for just a moment. And all we're going to do here is take those hands behind the back, clasp them together, press down, straightening the arms, opening the chest upward. Deep breath here. Now bend at the elbows, pulling the hands back in. Switch your grip so that it feels awkward, and then press down again. You can wiggle side to side a little bit if it feels good. There should be glorious opening across your chest and into your shoulders. And then go ahead and bend the elbows. We'll unclasp those fingers. And now, let's see, I have a couple things I want to do. Let's put on one red and one yellow spring, take off the blue spring, and then let's stand up and walk over and let's bring this foot bar on down. So we're going to do a little standing splits work today. Really want to make sure we get this in, so we're going to do it right now. So I'm going to turn to face you for this first one. Whichever way you are facing, the vitally important thing here is that we step onto the standing platform first. Once you firmly have your foot on the standing platform, go ahead and step on up, bring your other foot onto the edge of the carriage. So the way I'm set up here, I have about an inch on the inside, on either side of my foot, from the edge of the carriage or from the edge of the standing platform. So from here, I just want to do a really small movement. Hands can come to the waist, and we're just going to inhale to press away a little bit, exhale in. I'm really grounding both feet into the standing platform and into the carriage, and I'm turning on my outer thighs here. We have a red and a yellow, so a little bit more weight than we normally would, and so we're just going to do really small movements here, and you should start to feel that burn. Stand up nice and tall, looking straight forward. You have a slight micro bend in the knees to protect the knees. Two more. Last one. Now hold out. You're going to bring your hands in front of you, and we're just going to slowly squat, keeping that carriage pressing out from the stoppers, and then slowly lift up to stand. Inhale to squat. Exhale to stand, slow and controlled. Now as you're squatting back, remember we're pushing that butt back as if we're sitting into a chair. The knees are tracking back behind my big toes. Come on up. Last one here. When you squat down, I want you to hold it. Now we're going to straighten the knees, hinging forward, lifting the arms out, and then bending back into our squat, bringing the hands back to prayer or to the center of the chest. Straighten the legs, arms reach straight out, and then come back to your squat. Two more. Your booty should be on fire. Out. And in. Hold here. And then go ahead and stand yourself up tall. Bring the carriage on in. Whew. Right now, we'll go ahead and come down. Let's put on one blue spring. You can take off the red and the yellow. Very carefully bring yourself up to standing. Now we're going to take, for me, the right foot, the foot that's on the carriage, out more toward the middle of the carriage, and we're going to go into our standing splits. So you can have your feet parallel. If it feels better to have a little bit of a turnout, you can do that too. Arms are going to start by the side. We'll inhale to press out. Arms float up overhead. Exhale to pull the carriage in. Inhaling out.
So now we're taking the work more into those inner thighs. So as you come out, I want you to first feel into those inner thighs, begin to scissor in, pulling the carriage closed. This is going to look different for everyone. For me, I have not so much flexibility in the standing side split arena. So you may be able to go a lot deeper than me. Good for you. I'm jealous. Get that? For me, this is what it looks like. Now the next time we go out, I want you to hold. So don't extend out so much that you're in pain. Find that place where you can pull into the inner thighs and just hold comfortably. From here, I want you to inhale, arms float straight up. Exhale as you twist to the right, opening the arms out to either side. Inhaling back up to center. Exhaling as we twist left, opening the arms out. Let's do one more on each side. It feels so glorious. Come up to center and scissor those inner thighs in, closing the carriage. Lovely. Go ahead and walk that right foot in. Now, again, we're going to step off with the foot that's on the carriage. Step back and then go ahead and come on off. Okay, I'm going to walk around to the other side. We'll start with one red and one yellow. Drop that blue. This time for me, I'm stepping my right foot up onto the standing platform first, then coming on up. I'm going to start with my feet about an inch from the edge of whatever they're standing on. And then from here, I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. I'm just going to inhale as I press out a little, exhale to pull in. Turning on those outer thighs, turning on my glutes. Really finding that heaviness throughout the entire bottom of my feet. So the balls of my feet are heavy, they're equally weighted on the outside and inside, and my heel is heavy. Remembering to have that slight bend in the knee and enjoy that burn. 2 more. This next one, press out and hold. Hands are going to come to my chest, and I'm going to inhale as I begin to sit down into a squat. Exhale as I come up. I'm keeping that carriage pushed out away from the stoppers, and I'm trying to keep it as still as possible. So I always joke, we have that unicorn and we have that donkey side. This definitely, I would say, is more of my donkey because I'm having a really hard time holding the carriage still. That's okay. I'm just going to fight for it. Okay, last one here. We're going to lower down into that squat. Hold. Now I'm going to straighten my legs. Arms come out. I'm hinged forward. And then go ahead and bend those knees. Hands come back to the chest, squatting down low. Straighten the knees. I'm in that hinge position. And then bend. 2 more. Last one. Oh, Lordy. Go ahead and stand yourself up tall and then close that carriage. Woo! Feels good. Go ahead and bend yourself down. I'm going to put on my blue, keep off my red and my yellow. Stand up, and I'm going to walk that left foot out toward the center of the carriage. I'm going to find a slight turnout because it feels a little bit better for me. Arms lengthened by the side. We inhale, drawing the arms up overhead, coming into that side split. Exhale, pulling those inner thighs in to come up tall. Let's do 2 more here. Now on this next one, we'll press the carriage out, hold. I'm going to open up to the left, twisting. Exhale, arms come up to the center, keeping the legs open. Twist to the right, open the arms out. And again to either side. Keeping my hips facing forward as I rotate in my spine. As the arms come up, I'll scissor those inner thighs together and float the arms down. Beautiful. You can walk that left foot in toward the center. You're going to step whatever foot is on the carriage off first, and then the standing platform. And then let's come around. We'll lift up the bar again. And let's grab a hold of our ball. We'll get in a little play with our ball before we're done here. One red spring, take the blue off. I'm going to situate myself so I'm as close to the edge of the carriage as I can be, but able to put the balls of my feet up on the foot bar. Now for some people that's really hard to do. You can click your foot bar down one little click. Makes it a little bit more accessible. I'll leave that here today. So I'm going to focus on having all 5 of my toes on the foot bar. I'm wrapping around that foot bar. I'm going to bring my ball back behind my lower back, and I'm really going to kind of like wedge it down. So it's really like just about touching my sacrum. From here I have heels together, toes apart. My little slice of pizza here isn't too big, and I'm pulling my knees in slightly. So I want to think maybe a little bit wider than shoulder. And then I'm going to lengthen my arms out in front of me, palms facing in toward each other, shoulders roll down the back, and arms are plugged in. From here, I'm just going to inhale to press out, exhale in. Chest is nice and open, but I am pulling my belly button back toward my spine. I'm making sure that I press my heels together too to keep that inner thigh connection. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Come on in. I'm going to separate the heels now. I have about a fist width distance between my feet. And again, same setup with the top of the body. I'm going to inhale to press out and exhale in. Now, if you're not feeling anything here, you're doing something wrong. So lean back a little bit more into that ball. You can tuck that pelvis in toward the belly button a little bit, and you should really be able to find that burn. Adding on, pull the carriage in. We're going to float the right leg up to tabletop. Inhale to press out, exhale in. Now we're going to add on pulling the knee in as we press out, lengthening that leg over the foot bar as we come in. Are your shoulders still pulling away from your ears? Make sure you're not shrugging. Now keep that leg straight. As we go back, lift the arms, lift the leg, come in. Arms can lift just up toward where like the ceiling and the wall meet. Two more. Last one. Come on in. Bring your feet down onto the standing platform for just a moment. Let those knees fall out into a butterfly and just round forward. And then we'll hit the other side as well. Stack the spine up tall. Make sure that ball is still in the correct place. We'll bring the balls of the feet to the foot bar, fist width distance between them. Start with the arms out, shoulders roll down the back, and we'll just inhale out with both legs. Exhale in. Come on in, draw that left leg up to tabletop, press out and in. Make sure you move slow and controlled here, because if you move too fast, you're going to lose that right foot on the foot bar, and then all hell is going to break loose. Now let's start to pull that knee, pulling the left knee in and straightening it out over the foot bar. Feeling that crunch as you pull the knee in. Next time the leg straightens out, keep it straight. We press out, lift the arm and the leg, and down. Lift and lower Almost there, guys. 2 more. Last one. Come on and drop that foot. Find that butterfly again. Round forward. Whew. Good job. We're going to get ready to do our cool down stretch. So take that ball out, place it to the side. We'll stand up. We'll lift the foot bar up. And then while we're here, let's get one red, one blue on. But before we lie down, I'm going to have you walk over to the well behind the shoulder rest. You're going to step carefully into your well, and from here, I'm going to hinge forward. Hands are going to come on top of the shoulder rest. Then I can walk my feet back slightly, and I'm just going to let that chest melt down toward the floor. My hips should be roughly over my ankles. Oh, feels good. Now I'm going to pull the belly button to the spine, rounding up, coming up to a high heel, pressing forward, and then dropping my hips and opening up into extension. Oh, it's so glorious. Belly button goes back to the spine. I lift up and shift back. Come down onto my heels. Drop that chest down toward the well. And then one more time, rounding up and forward. Dropping my hips. Stretching into those abdominals. And then round back last time. Nice. Go ahead and find that melt down toward the mat. And then let your hands fall off of the shoulder rest and fall just down in front of your feet. Let your head be heavy. Shake your head no. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, use that exhale to begin to round yourself up and away from the floor. Coming up tall, chin is the last thing to lift. Roll those shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Very carefully step out of here. And now let's go ahead and come to lying. Once you're there, we'll grab a hold of the long straps and place your feet in. I'm going to lengthen my legs up toward the ceiling. Neutral spine, sacrum's heavy. Arms lengthened by the side. Inhale to press the legs down toward the foot bar. Exhale to float them up. Start to check in with your body here. Make sure your face is relaxed, your neck muscles are relaxed. If you feel anywhere else that you're holding tension, take a deep breath in through the nose, and as you blow it out through the mouth, release all that tension from your body. The next time my legs lower to about 45 degrees, I'm going to pause. I'm going to bring heels together, toes apart, flexing my feet. I'm going to pull my knees in toward my chest and then press my legs straight out, going into frog. Now again, like what we were doing when we were kind of doing the stomach stretch, abdominals type moves, I want to make sure that my Pilates V here isn't too wide, and that as I'm pulling my knees in toward my chest, they're about as wide as my shoulders, maybe even a little bit narrower. Squeezing into those heels. 2 more. Last one. Press out, bring the feet to parallel. We'll lift the legs up, opening out, around, and pressing them back together down toward the foot bar. Going into our circles. Now with circles, it really depends on what your body wants and needs here. I had a wicked leg day yesterday, so I'm really going to enjoy this stretch. I'm going to let my legs open up as wide as they can. I'm going to feel that amazing stretch into my inner thighs. If that's a little bit too much for you, smaller circles. Here's my small circle. I am still getting a stretch. I am still rotating that femoral head around in my hip joint. It still feels lovely. I'm going to do a couple more big ones here.
Now as my legs float up, I'm gonna reverse, pressing my legs down, opening them out around and up before starting again. Now in this one, for me, I have to be really careful that I don't let that sacrum float up. I like to put my hands on my hips here, make sure that my pelvis is staying neutral, and I'm not getting too crazy. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and grab a hold of your ropes. Now you can let that sacrum float up. Pull those legs in closer to your body. I'm going to bend and straighten mine. I'll pull my knees into my chest. Take those straps off. Place my feet down on the footrest. Straps go back on their handles, and we're all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much fun. I'm so happy to be back, and there are more videos to come soon. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like below and subscribe so you get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.